If you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe and become part of this community. Oh, and also, go cop that fresh merch and listen to my new songs in the description. Drake and 21 Savage are dropping their new album, Her Loss, this Friday on November 4th. And in this video, I wanted to go over everything that we know about this album so far. So from the complete beginning, about the rumors of this thing even happening, to now the latest pushback of this album and even more rumors of it being pushed back, we're gonna look at everything. Let's jump straight into this. So we have to start at the beginning. Drake and 21 Savage most recently collabed on Drake's track Jimmy Cooks off of Honestly Nevermind, which was by far the best track on there, by far the best synergy of the two. They've done, it before. For example, they were together on Knife Talk off of CLB, and they harmonized pretty well as well. So the two of them were always like linking up, but there started to be rumors about this thing dropping from a couple of sources on Twitter. I made a whole video about this before it got announced, and all of those turned out to be true, which is crazy. So for some reason there was some stuff going on of people knowing about this, but then they dropped the Jimmy Cooks video, and this is the key to everything, because the video in itself is pretty cool, but it's also not like what you expected. It was only the first verse, so not even 21 at all in there, just Drake, and it stops at the middle of it, and we get a screen that announces this new album, Her Loss, dropping October 28th, which would have been that upcoming Friday of that Saturday when the video dropped. We kind of thought that this was going to happen. I made a bunch of videos that week going over what we can expect from this, how it's going to be turning out, what we know about this so far. There are many theories that fans have and many wishes that fans have that I dropped a video on, which is really also worthwhile. I'm going to be referring to a couple of other videos in this video because a lot of the stuff is just too much going into the leaking and making theories direction that I don't want to include it in everything we know for sure about this, which is actually not quite a lot, but I'm trying to gather it all here. So if I make a lot of references to other videos that I dropped, it's just that if you want to go down that route, if you want to get down the rabbit hole of the leaks and the theories of what people have in the underground communities and forums, then do so. Head over to the playlist. I made a whole playlist about other stuff. For example, a leaked track list. We also had a leaked track list that is kind of disproven by now, but more info in that video. And also concerning the cover, we're going to touch on the cover in a second as well, about what we know about it so far, but also there's more to that go into in those videos in the playlist, so make sure you go check them out. If you're a Drake fan, if you're interested in that, we're going in depth on that one. But let's continue with what actually happened, which is that they delayed this album. They pushed it back by a week to this Friday, so November 4th, which, by the way, I'm also dropping an amazing project with the amazing producer Bosnian this Friday called Almost Infinity, so make sure you go check that out. More info on the community tab. I just announced it. But we're here for Drake, so look at this. He, posted this story to his Instagram explaining that 40, so his in-house producer, was in the process of mixing and mastering this project when he caught COVID. And apparently this was so spontaneous, they weren't done with the album, it was still needed to get mixed and mastered, that this, pushed back the album by a week because, 40 couldn't mix it. I also think it has to do with the fact that he didn't, want to release it without 40 being there in person, because obviously 40 is a very close person to Drake and the two of them are pretty good, so we wanted him to be there for that special moment. But also, a lot of y'all also said he pushed back CLB because of his knee injury, and now he's pushing it back because of a COVID case 5 days before the album drops. It's very suspicious. Why wasn't the album done? And I get that albums are not always done when they are announced, but it was a week. He announced it 6 days before it dropped. So I don't know. It seemed to be done. It was just kind of weird. But that happened and we got that info. But here's the interesting part now concerning the cover art, because he actually posted another story, this one before the story that I just showed y'all. And he, quickly removed it again. But the interesting part is that story is basically identical to the one that I just showed y'all. The text is the same, the content of the message is the same, it's just a different picture in the background. And the picture that we can see in this OG story is of Drake and 21 Savage holding their hands in front of their faces, which might be a possible cover art. That is kind of what people are guessing. As I said, a lot more is in the theories about this cover art. Also another one that OVO might have revealed. Make sure to go check out the playlist I made on that. More info there. Now, there is a possibility that they might actually delay it again. I actually just dropped a video on that. It has to do with the passing of Takeoff. It's not confirmed. It's just something that fans are kind of worried about. Make sure you go check out that video as well, but it's in a very like somber tone because obviously it addresses Takeoff's death. I just wanted to put this in here. I didn't want to take away from the positive energy that I was trying to put out with this video, but that video goes a bit more in depth on that, so if you're interested, make sure you go check it out. But lastly of all, we can kind of see a couple of snippets here and there. For example, at the end of the Jimmy Cooks video, so right after the Jimmy Cooks track actually stops and we get the announcement, we can hear this this vocal sample, a very like soulful, even a little bit into the jazz direction sample that maybe they'll use samples as such on the entire project. I will drop a separate video on what to expect from it and what I expect from it, what my wishes are for this, and start a conversation with y'all guys. But in this video already, let me know what you hope this album does for you, what you hope to see on there, how many tracks, what features, stuff like that I kind of went over in the theory video. But we can definitely expect some soulful samples like that just because they already teased at it, and likely that teaser at the end of the Jimmy Cooks video will also find its way into the actual album. Now, we can expect a lot of production from people like 40, obviously, Boy Wonder likely as well, Metro Boomin, very likely as well, because, you know, 21 Savage and Metro Boomin are pretty close, and also Metro Boomin pushed back his album because Drake and 21 delayed their album. Now A Boogie also, you know, pushed back his album. So it's crazy to see how these artists are pushing back their albums. I'm definitely gonna drop another video on that. But it's kind of like they really set something in motion with them pushing back their album. The whole genre is now pushing back its albums because they're all scared for one of Drake and 21 Savage, that they're gonna outsell their first week numbers, but also of Taylor Swift, because she's going crazy right now. And I mentioned in the other video of it pushing him back, but even Drake and 21, they're scared that Taylor Swift will sell more in her second week than they will in their first week. That's why they didn't drop it on the 28th. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to play it this week, if they're going to push it back again because of Taylor Swift, or if they'll just, you know, come through with it. It's going to be interesting to see. That is all we know so far. I know it's not a lot, and I refer to a lot of videos and a lot of other videos because a lot of the stuff that we know or supposedly know is very much in the leaking communities and the theory making communities and stuff like that, the KTT2 forums and the subreddits, all of that. But I wanted to gather everything here. If you're interested in all the other stuff that goes a bit deeper but is not confirmed, make sure to go check out the playlist that I made on my channel about this album. Very good playlist and a lot of, you know, great videos in there. Also, real quick, at the end of the video, if you're looking for a hoodie, you can get this amazing Ben's Music hoodie right below the video in the YouTube shop merch shop bar there, or in the link in the video description. Very comfortable. I wear this like every day. It is so comfortable. So if you're, you know, in the game for a new hoodie, make sure you go check out the store down below. But now I want to hear from y'all guys. What are your wishes for this album? You know, what info do you wish we still get? Are we getting the track list sometime soon? Tonight? When is it dropping? All of your thoughts and your theories and your opinions on this, please let me know in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.